We are going to rewind about a year ago because I want to share the story of how we got here. It was early February 2020 and we had just had our third baby, and we were finally finding our new groove as a family of 5. Charlie was back to working as a general contractor, and Audrey had just enrolled in a preschool program. I was finding my rhythm again as a stay-at-home mother to a toddler and a newborn, something I did about 2 years prior, so I was all too familiar with the sweet, sticky juggling that required. I would focus on juggling the little ones, housework, and then fit in some sewing and YouTube videos here and there. It had been the train ride I was on since Audrey was born. Not easy, but definitely doable. And then everything changed.
The deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know.
The novel coronavirus had made its way to the United States, and life as we knew it would change drastically. We pulled sweet Audrey out from her preschool program, and I felt so badly about that. She had only been in it for about 2 weeks and really enjoyed going to school to play with her friends. The country went into lockdown mode, and we tried to get our affairs in order. Like everyone else, the uncertainty was difficult to wrap our minds around. For weeks, Charlie and I walked around in a daze. What do we do next? Since making the switch to being self-employed, we had had challenges, but nothing like this. Actually, business had been really good and stable leading up to the pandemic. We had just sold the guts to our sawmill business the previous fall to focus on the renovation side of our family business. But the work Charlie had been doing as a residential contractor could no longer continue safely. So what to do next? That was the question. Well, for starters, we put our dream mountain family home build on hold. Not a big deal, definitely first world problems. But we do have a beautiful property and will build this dream one day. But this was not the time. Too much uncertainty and our stable income had just been ripped out from under us. And that was the big question. How do we get back a stable income in a safe manner with little kids in the lockdown mode? And how long would all of this last? The idea of a virtual sewing business came to mind. And after about 2 weeks of mulling it over, we decided to jump. We were all aboard this new train and we were trying to figure out the direction that it would take. I spent hours under a sweet sleeping daisy going down this rabbit hole and then that rabbit hole. And Charlie was now caring for the older 2 children as well as doing most of the housework and cooking. It was an exhausting, chaotic time. But slowly the business was taking shape and I was beginning to work on projects and products, and it seemed like our train was pointed in a direction and slowly starting to chug along. It was clear that I needed a new website to be able to handle the e-commerce demands. So Daisy and I set that up together too. Before I knew it, things were in motion, and the first product to come to market was my now best-selling hand-sewn buttonhole kit. This was August 2020 and it sold out quickly. I also released my fall leaves corduroy sewing kit that in August, and that sold out quickly too. The train was definitely moving at this point, and I had no idea what was just around the corner. I quickly restocked those items and continued to release products while working on other solutions. The invention of the flow sprays were somewhere in that early mix too. That was actually Charlie's idea, and it has taken off. There are over 60 varieties, and they continue to grow. I swear they are like little rabbits, cute, soft, multiplying rabbits. I love them, and I'm so happy that y'all love them too. So the business was starting to grow come late fall, and it was clear that we now had another issue on our hands. And it was a good issue to have when growing a business. The business had taken over our house. Seriously, it was everywhere. There was fiber and fabric in every nook and cranny. Like I said, a good issue to have, but still, my sweet family had reached its limit on living in thread, and I do not blame them. I was also fairly fed up with working in the stacked chaos, and I felt like my already limited productivity had really hit a wall at this point. So Charlie and I began to look for office spaces, and we thought that we were going to rent a little apartment since it would have a bedroom and a kitchen, both ideal for bringing a baby to work with you. But instead, we lucked out with this incredible space in downtown Dillsboro. It's a quaint little town with some really sweet shops, and I feel so lucky to be part of the lineup. Charlie spent about 2 weeks getting the space ready for our needs, putting up a wall with a door so nap time is a possibility, and we also moved some of our long-term storage here, which is icing on the cake for our little home to free up some space. He also renovated the bathroom, added whitewash to the walls, and new lighting fixtures. He finished by freshly painting the back room, and then we spent about a week moving all the sewing supplies as well as some of that long-term storage that I had mentioned earlier into our new rental space. We're still getting situated, but it feels like a huge breath of fresh air already, and I cannot say how grateful I am for everyone's support in our new journey. Seriously, thank you so much, and I am excited to see where this train is headed this year.